desert tonight. Ready? Come on and get ready. I mean really ready. Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party. The whole house is rocking. Let's get it kick-started. Launch this thing, raise the roof, that's right. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night. I think it's nice that the retractable roof was open so the helmets could come through here at the University of Phoenix Stadium. First time the top's been down here in 2008 in this stadium that hosted the most watched Super Bowl ever last year, Giants and Patriots. And they are jazzed about their cards. They know this is their show after the people saw them nationally against Dallas. Another test. The tests get bigger as you go on. Toss won by the Niners. They will receive. Mike Singletary's offense first. Neil Racker's set to kick. If you're sitting at the table, deal the cards. Off we go from Arizona. Deep kickoff, and Allen Rossum decides to bring it out. Got a block here on the sideline, and Rossum is gone. Touchdown, San Francisco, 104 yards. Hello.
Are you kidding me? If you're Arizona and you've waited for this moment and you allow a run back of over 100 yards before the clock starts?
And if you're Mike Singletary, you are very excited about your football team. They needed something positive to happen early in this football game. The opening kickoff, Allen Rossum takes it to the house. Outstanding execution, the blocking scheme by the 49ers. Wow.
Michael Robinson threw a great block. It's the second longest kickoff return for a touchdown in Niners history. Abe Woodson in 1959 had the longest. The extra point is added by Joe Nedney, and in a dozen seconds, the Niners lead 7-0.
I mean, seriously, if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, you know, you say to yourself, well, nothing bad can happen anymore. We've proven we're a good team now. And then right out of the box, you're down 7-0.
Really good job right here by Allen Rossum getting to the outside. You see the block by Robinson. That got Rossum to the sideline. Once he got to the sideline, the lane to the end zone was now open. Al Everett, special teams coach for the 49ers, with a terrific job of design, getting Rossum to the sideline, and no one's catching him once Allen gets there.
That matches the second longest kick return at the start of a game in NFL history. Matches the second longest. Timmy Brown of Philadelphia in 61 with the longest. Rossum, one of the great return men in NFL history in terms of his total body of work. He's been returning kicks 11 years. That's a long time. The old Golden Domer from Notre Dame, who had an end-around touchdown against the Eagles earlier this year. Begins it with a bang here in the desert.
You know, Singletary could have taken off his shirt just in celebration. You know, just start out 7-0.
Well, Eve Breston awaits the kick by Nedney. From the 4, Breston returns it to the middle to the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Jason Hill. So Kurt Warner in the Arizona offense takes the hit. Look at his NFL ranks. 37-year-old Kurt Warner leads in completion percentage, 3rd in yards, tied for 4th in touchdowns. The passer rating that combines all the numbers, 2nd in the National Football League.
Nobody really knows what the numbers are, but if you're over 100, everybody knows you're good.
Yeah, that's good.
Everybody knows that.
You know, being out of practice and watching Kurt Warner on Saturday, he can still sling the football. Great velocity and accuracy.
Tim Hightower gets the start for the 2nd consecutive week for Edgerrin James. And Warner comes to Steve Breston out of Michigan, 2nd year. Complete gain of 22 to the 47-yard line.
Had a chance to talk to Kurt Warner earlier in the week, and he loves this throw. These deep crosses and those dig routes at about 20 yards. excellent anticipation, and once again, you see the accuracy from Kurt Warner. That is the most overlooked aspect of playing the quarterback position. Everyone talks about mobility, strong arm. You got to throw it accurately. Kurt Warner almost 70% complete this season.
Second throw caught by Larry Fitzgerald, his 50th of the year. Nate Clemens shows him the sideline. Let's take you through the Arizona lineups. Behind Warner, it's Hightower starting for Edgerrin James. It's the second consecutive game. They'd like to get James in the game. Jaws, Bolden, and Fitzgerald, are they the best 1-2 receiver tandem?
How about this for a yes? They complement each other very, very well. You know, Anquan Bolden loves to work those inside routes, and you watch Larry Fitzgerald, just like we saw, working outside the numbers and deep.
This offensive line returned intact from last year. Something that hasn't happened in Arizona in 11 years. First carry, Hightower. Gain of about 3 yards. Will be a couple shy of the first down. Third and about 3 coming up. Tim Hightower was the 5th-round draft pick this year out of Richmond. You see the numbers in his first start in for Edgerrin James. And in that game, he gave Edgerrin James the game ball because Edgerrin James has been so supportive of everything Hightower has done from the day he walked in to the Cardinal locker room.
He says, I still carry his helmet to and from practice. Anything I can do to repay him for what he's done for me. You like that? You like that attitude? Come on now.
Winston Hunt would like to play Edgerrin James tonight. Technically 3rd and 4. And Warner in the middle, caught by Jeremy Urban. His 15th catch of the year in front of Keith Lewis, first down, gain of 60.
The 49ers need to put pressure on Kurt Warner or else he will slice this defense up. Beautiful cradle to throw the football from. Look at Warner step up nicely in the pocket. Great touch over the underneath coverage. And Urban goes up and makes the catch. Kurt Warner has tremendous vision from the pocket. He moves around and finds the open receiver.
From the 30, a run with Hightower. That speed is one of the reasons he took over for Edgerrin James. Gain of 12 yards.
Yeah, Mike, you nailed it. Hightower has the speed and the quickness to get to the outside. What was most impressive about Hightower in training camp was his ability to finish. He was a goal line short yardage runner. But watch him finish this play. He runs behind his pads. He delivers the blow. He moves the defense 3 yards. That's what impressed the Cardinals about his running style. But you can see there that agility to get to the outside and then turn it up the field. Oof, there's some contact. Oof.
Something came flying off those helmets on that one. Wow.
I thought it was our helmets pregame.
Anquan Bolden in short motion. Warner looking that way. Comes instead to Urban again. A couple of yards shy of the first down. No flags thrown. Warner's hit all 4, and he'll do that against a San Francisco defense, 30th in the league, allowing 29 points a game. They'll play some 4-3, some 3-4. Nobody's having a super standout year. Patrick Willis was the Rookie of the Year on defense last year.
Yeah, and he's found it a little bit tougher sledding this season because teams aren't running away from him where he could use athleticism and speed. He told us in our production meeting they're running right at him, so they're making him play that physical game.
Terrell Smith is checked in at fullback for the Cardinals. Leads the way for Hightower, who is stopped, not able to get more than a half yard as Justin Smith, who spent his first 7 years with the Cincinnati Bengals, made the stop. Smith told us yesterday, we asked, how are things with the switch from San Francisco to Cincinnati? He said, got one more win than they do. Cincinnati's 1 win, San Francisco 2.
Justin Smith is a very active defensive lineman. He can play down in that end outside. He can be a 3-technique tackle. He can be a stand-up linebacker. He's very versatile, and he really gives this defense a little bit of push up front.
He's rich, too.
Throwing formation, 3rd and 1. Warner, Fitzgerald. Had him open. Kurt just missed him. And a field goal attempt coming for the Cardinals. Walt Harris was there on coverage.
Yeah, this is the throw Kurt would like to have back. You'll see Fitzgerald stacked to the inside, gets good leverage on Walt Harris. That's a little meet me at the pylon throw, is a little bit outside the pylon. But as Kurt was rolling to his right, Normally the quarterback rolling to his right, the ball's going to drift a little bit to the right, and that's exactly what happened.
28-yard field goal for Neil Rackers. Kicks away! Out of the hole with Dirk Johnson. Cardinals score.
49ers now have them just where they want them because they're about to get a kickoff. Well, they got to feel good about that. They had 1 for 7 already.
Over at their own 30, trailing by 4, and that's been some of the newspaper copy here in the desert the last couple of weeks. Kurt Warner had a first half worthy of MVP conversation. Stats say yes. We are halfway through. Throw to Breston is complete for a gain of 5. Ron, take us back to the first series.
Yeah, and Kurt Warner was very sharp in that first series. He's excellent off play action. When he snaps his head around, he locates people. He's looking for Larry Fitzgerald. He's covered. That leaves Steve Breston to come on the dig route backside. Look at the throw, right on the numbers. Then look at the touch on this throw. You got Mark Roman right in front of the receiver. He got to put a little touch on that one for the completion.
Anquan Bolden lined up at quarterback, took a direct snap and gains about 2 yards. Warner lined up toward the top of the screen, so both teams have shown that formation here tonight.
The Wildcat offense. Whoever invented this should be able to get royalties on it because every team in the NFL is now using it. Do we have any idea who invented it? Not a guy named Wildcat, obviously.
No, it's a variety of names. It goes back to what Arkansas ran successfully over the last couple of years to get their best runners at the time, Felix Jones and Darren McFadden on the field.
The NFL never did this in 30 years.
No.
Haven't done it.
Goes back to single-win football.
Everybody does it now.
And Tony Sparano, Bill Parcells, and the guys in Miami put it in to get Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams on the field together. And everybody saw it work against the Patriots, and here they go with it. 3rd and 3 throws incomplete, and the Niners able to get Warner off the field, 3 and out.
And there was blitz pressure on the play. The 49ers dialed up the pressure. Certainly a good call they felt early in that first series. Warner had too much time. Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, said, hey, I'm not going to let this guy get comfortable back there. We got to move him off his launch point. Came with the pressure. Errant throw by Kurt Warner.
Rossum, who took the opening kickoff back on 20. So Kurt Warner comes out. Kurt Warner's had a long NFL career. It's been up and down. It's been successful in many ways. But how about this, guys? 262 passing yards per game. The highest total of any quarterback in the history of the NFL. He's been with Mike Martz in St. Louis. Some successful days, big numbers. Over 300 yards passing in 45% of his games over his 11-year career. Highest rate in NFL history. So he has put up, stat-wise, and success with wins, some eye-popping historic numbers.
Hall of Fame numbers. World championships and MVPs.
Edger and James in the backfield. First time in a couple of weeks. And Edge runs up the middle. Still can run between the tackles and still get you what's blocked. 4 yards, and Justin Smith made the tackle.
He had started 135 straight games in his career.
Yes.
He was benched last week and didn't get any action at all. And a lot of the writers in town said, is this deliberate? Did he do something to antagonize the coach? He said, no, we just didn't get to him in that game. But you'd expect him to at least have played this series, carry the ball once or twice.
And Whisenhunt said that. He wanted to play him. Hightower had it rolling. He's still in the game. That pass is deflected and almost intercepted. Walt Harris was coming over after Justin Smith deflected it, and it's 3rd down.
You mentioned before about the big yardage by Kurt Warner, 45% of the time. In 4 of the 8 games he started this year, going into this game, 4 times over. 427 versus the Jets, 381 versus the Panthers, 361 with Miami, 342 versus the Rams. Huge numbers.
He's done it beyond his days in St. Louis with Martz.
Yeah.
And people question if it was just the collection of talent and the offensive coordinator in that group. Moving back 5.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Deuce Latui out of USC.
Well, what happened was, I mean, Kurt Warner was thought of as a backup once he got kicked out of St. Louis and kicked out of the Giants. And nobody had expectations, he said, that he could do the stuff he did before. They felt he'd be a backup here to Leinart. And he said they opened their eyes to maybe the old guy can take us into the future. And he is old by quarterback standards, though not by mine.
Age 37. Can the Niners get pressure? They only rush 3. And Warner swings it through the hands of Hightower and incomplete. So that's 2 3-and-outs for the highest scoring offense in the NFL. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, the 3rd and 7 went to 3rd and 12, and that really does change the playbook. There's no question about it. They tried to get to the screen to get it to Hightower, but you got to give the 49ers some credit. They came with that 3-man rush. They were in position to make a play, even though Hightower could not hold on. Expected this.
Well, neither did we.
Steve Preston takes it out for about 4 yards deep. And he'll get out to the 22-yard line, tackled by Donald Strickland.
Well, let's take a look at the throw from Shaun Hill to Josh Morgan. Here is the bottom of the screen. Excellent job of getting position for the fade. He steps on Rod Hood's toes, basically, leaves some room at the sideline. Shaun Hill does a great job of getting some air under that football. Love the term, throw the ball out in the box where only your receiver can make the catch. Morgan with a great catch. That's exactly what Mike Singletary told him. Great catch, young man. But a beautiful route, beautiful throw, well executed.
Now some pressure on the Cardinals. Edgerrin James is the running back. Warner to Preston to the 39. 17-yard first down pickup.
You're correct in saying there's pressure on the Cardinals. There's pressure on Kurt Warner right now to deliver. I mean, there are people out there who have watched the Cardinals lose for 40 years. And they're saying, same old Cardinals, the way that this game is starting off. I mean, it's a terrible cliche. This is a statement game of sorts for the Arizona Cardinals.
Right. If this was the same old sorry Cardinals, you may believe that. This Cardinal offense has been averaging just slightly under 30 points a game.
So let's see it here.
That's exactly what I said. They need one of those defining drives.
From the 40, Warner will send it deep for Preston. Caught by Preston. Well, that's the speed element that he has brought as a third receiver to the 13. Pick up a 44.
Mike, you're absolutely right. We talk about Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Boldin. Great receivers, great route runners. Here's the speed of this offense right now. It's Steve Preston. He splits the corner, splits the safety. That ball is in perfect position. It is Patrick Willis, the middle linebacker, running down the field. Willis has great speed, but he's not running with Steve Preston.
Warner must have heard you. Must have heard you say you need a defining drive.
Because quarterbacks have this karma, as you like to say.
Preston, a 5th-round pick out of Michigan 2 years ago, has really worked hard in the offseason to become a much more important factor in the pass game for the Cardinals as they run Edgerrin James into the line for nothing. It'll be 2nd down. Preston really came on, guys, when Anquan Boldin had the injury against the Jets and the facial fracture, the broken jaw, the surgery, out for a couple of games. Preston moved into the number 2 receiver spot. Had such respect for Preston when they introduced the starting lineups. Preston wouldn't come out. He said, that's Anquan's spot. He'll be back. He just kind of slithered in from the side. He's going to be introduced in lineups for some time to come, I would guess. 2nd and 9, 5 options for Warner. Complete. Boldin. Touchdown. Arizona.
Excellent job by Kurt Warner in the pocket. If you like to call those pocket scrambles. Move around. Allow. There you see. There's the movement right there. Almost brought down by Justin Smith. Still moving. Eyes downfield. Allows Anquan Boldin time to uncover. Great job by Kurt Warner extending the play with pocket mobility.
That's what Boldin does so well. So strong to the ball. And after the catch as well, Rackers the extra point. Well, see your 3-play drive with a 4-play drive. Passes of 18, 46, and 13. Boldin gets his 9th touchdown of the season. 22-yard lines. Tully Banta-Kane. Didn't see the field playing defense very often. Face the play. Let's talk about Mike Martz and Kurt Warner. Since they were together in that 99-2001 season, good perspective now. the highest point total per game in a stretch like that since the Rams of 50 and 52. Highest yardage total in NFL history in that 3-year stretch. And the highest passing yards per game since the Air Coryell San Diego Chargers, led by Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, throwing for nearly 297 yards per game. Martz now the offensive coordinator of the Niners. Warner the quarterback with the Cardinals. Together in St. Louis, they made it sing with the great receivers Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and the rest of the group. Don't forget Marshall Faulk, Oz Hakeem, and Ricky Prohl as well. Warner back to the air. The sideline, it is caught by Breston, who's having a big game. First down, Steve's 5th catch of the night.
It ended badly, obviously, between the two of them in St. Louis. Warner, just a couple of years after the second Super Bowl appearance, was gone from St. Louis. So you might anticipate that he's, not that keen on Martz. The opposite is true. He says he thinks he's a great coach.
Warner's a wide receiver, bottom of your screen, direct snap to Anquan Bolden. They did this a few times against St. Louis. Bolden puts his face into the defender and goes forward. That's the toughness I was talking about. First down, gain of a dozen.
Mike, you said he had 40 screws and 8 plates in his jaw, and he sticks his face in there like a fullback, like Marion Motley, without a face mask running in there.
Apparently it no longer hurts, though, because the doctor in France has told us that.
Yeah, that's like minor surgery. It's only minor for the doctor.
Michael Lewis was waiting. But Bolden has come back and taken a bunch of snaps in the backfield 5 times last week against St. Louis, twice here tonight. Veteran hard count. Almost got the offside. Here's the swing to Tim Hightower. The rookie running back gains a couple of yards.
I had a chance to talk to Dick Vermeil this afternoon. Of course, Dick was the head coach of that great football team of the Rams when they won in '99 and the great year in 2000. And, he was talking about how a shame it was that Kurt Warner could not stay his entire career in St. Louis. They had such a good thing going there. But also that relationship with Mike Martz was special. Dick Vermeil was the head coach, but the coordinator and the quarterback need to be joined at the hip, and they were. And they were on the same page as far as play calling and being aggressive.
Second and 7. Warner throws complete. Again, it's Breston. So they're taking away Fitzgerald and Bolden as much as they can, and Breston's having a big first half.
Let me just go back to Martz and Warner just one more time in this regard. That when Warner left St. Louis, the perception was that he was damaged goods in a lot of ways. That perception was added to with the Giants when they put in Eli Manning. And he said it himself, Warner, he said, people thought I couldn't play anymore, but that guy never disappeared. Right. Just give me the chance. He got a chance here, the end of last year, and now this year.
San Francisco is going to take a timeout. They had confusion back in the secondary. Come back to that Warner point in a minute. We have a 3rd and about 3 coming up.
For over 50 years, Payless Bank & Trust has been family-owned with deep roots in the communities we serve. We've worked hand in hand with the individuals and businesses in Chicago's southwest suburbs. These are our neighbors, and we never forget our commitment to them. From lending and deposits to trust services, brokerage, and insurance services, Payless Bank & Trust is proud to be an independent community bank dedicated to personal service. Payless Bank & Trust.
Now pay attention. 2 machine guns fixed.
Revolving number plates. Titanium armor.
Stinger missile. Hydrochloric acid. Sonic agitator unit.
X-ray scanner. An ordinary tin of talcum powder. Smoke screen.
A fingerprint scanner.
Heat-seeking.
Homing device.
A pen.
Underwater camera.
Telescopic sight.
GPS tracking system. A Geiger counter.
You got it?
Yes, I think so.
From all 21 Bond films to sports to concerts and hit shows, only Comcast gives you over 1,000 HD choices. Comcast. No one gives you more HD.
Go beyond relaxation with Elger Whirlpools and Menards. The Patriot is just $649. The Triangle features 3 contoured seating positions, $729. Bathroom cabinets from Pace are all on sale. Start with this 24-inch vanity, $159, or choose from many size or style combinations, including this entire Meadowwoods ensemble, only $888. Plus, receive an automatic 10% rebate on anything at Menards, even sale prices when you use your big card.
Save big money at Menards.
It was an icy day outside, a great game inside Super Bowl 34. St. Louis and Tennessee, that Kurt Warner touchdown pass to Isaac Bruce, gave them the lead, and then Mike Jones made the tackle at the 1-yard line, and St. Louis won the Super Bowl. And that's what Jaws was talking about. It was such a good fit. Everything was working together. But that's not the last image that we saw of Kurt Warner in St. Louis.
The last image of St. Louis was he would fumble the ball all the time, and he was down on all fours like, you know, Mike Tyson against Buster Douglas. There's some selective memory here. Warner says, just give me the opportunity. He's had some opportunity in places and not been great a few times.
Out of the San Francisco call timeout, 3rd and 3. They'll shovel pass with Bolden. And the big physical, tough runner picks up the first down at the 44-yard line. It will be ruled a pass. That means Warner is hit on his last 7 throws.
Yeah, Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator of the Cardinals, doing a real nice job of mixing things up. This is a shovel pass here, but he set this up with a couple Kurt Warner rollouts. So you get the defense flowing one way, you come back and run the shovel pass. Bolden looks the ball in. Boy, these guys have great hands as receivers. There's a little seam there. He hits it up there for the first down. But Todd Haley doing a real nice job of keeping the 49ers defense off balance.
2 tight ends here, and Hightower runs to the right. And everybody waiting over there for the Niners, and the ball came out. Nate Clemens dug it free. Let's see what happens at the bottom of the pile. As Hightower was fighting for that extra yard, the veteran out of Ohio State got a hand on the ball.
Well, no matter what we saw, it'll be different on the bottom of that pile.
Talk about some noise, huh?
Wow.
You see, Hightower may have been down before Clemens knocked it free. As they continue to not make a signal yet. The ball is awarded to San Francisco. Now, will Arizona challenge? They're watching what you're watching at home.
Yes, they'll challenge that.
It's Michael Lewis holding on the leg.
There's a good angle right there.
They show that replay.
Recovered by San Francisco.
They show that view here in the stadium, and Tony Correnti does not know that on the far side, Ken Wisenhunt has thrown the flag, and now he sees it, and we'll get a challenge.
He didn't actually throw it. He just held it up like he was waving for a cab and put it back in his pocket.
Well, Wisenhunt was a tight end in his playing days in the NFL.
Arizona's challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble.
Let's take another peek at it. Knee down there. Ball still secured at the point and in the arm by Hightower, and then it's ripped free by Clemens. So I'd agree with that first look that I'd say he's down, and it'll be 2nd down, Arizona.
I would agree with you, Mike, and I'll continue to be, I think, 100% this season.
Every week you say you're 100% and you forget the ones that you've missed.
It's called updating.
Is that how it works? You've been right about as often as most weathermen.
Wait a minute.
Okay, a little bit
Wait a
more
minute
often.
now, come on.
Jaws, you mentioned Wisenhunt challenging a former tight end. He's a great story. Our friend Bill Curry was the coach at Georgia Tech, and he walked on there. 12th round pick by Atlanta. People didn't think he'd be much. He actually came in and played some quarterback as a walk-on, too, at Georgia Tech. They had a great tie against Notre Dame early on in his days there. They played for Atlanta, Washington, the Jets. 9-year career, 6 touchdown catches, 62 receptions. And then went to Pittsburgh as a coach and was on Bill Cowher's staff, and a lot of the hard-nosed football, plus the ability to throw the curve in there, throw the surprise gadget play, like that pass to the Super Bowl, Antoine Randall, called by that man, Wisenhunt.
Yeah, what I found interesting in talking to the players on Mike Singletary's team and the players on Ken Wisenhunt's team, how much the players relate to those two guys because they were players. They've been in the trenches, they've been in the locker room, and there certainly is a common bond that the players have when the head coach had played. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to be successful, but the players certainly respect that.
11 current NFL head coaches played in the National Football League. These two guys among them. Okay, here's the call.
After reviewing the play, the Arizona runner was down by contact. With the Arizona's ball, 2nd down and 8.5 at the 43-yard line. Arizona will not be charged with a timeout.
And if Arizona successfully challenges again, they would get a 3rd challenge in the game.
And Tony can't rip me now.
No, it's just getting like Deal or No Deal, the way you make these challenges work. It's a game show now.
interesting is Hightower now comes off to the sideline. Edgerrin James is also on the sideline, and the two are talking after that turnover. Just for a moment there, Edge has been in this position a number of times, and Hightower does come right over to Edge. Anytime something happens.
There's that empty backfield that Warner loves.
Quick throw to Bolden. That was not where he thought Anquan was supposed to be, or vice versa. And it's 3rd and 9. We talked about the Hightower-Edgerrin James relationship. Hightower has given all the credit to Edgerrin from the day training camp opened. Edgerrin has been in his ear telling him what to do and how to do. What a great resource that is for a young running back, because a veteran could dog it and say, hey, you go figure it out yourself like I had to.
No, Edgerrin's a class act. He's a future Hall of Famer, and he knows that, well, he still wants to play. Yes. You got to love that part about him, but he realizes the situation that he's in, and he's helping the young fella. You got to love that.
This is 3rd and 9 for Warner. Caught for the first down by Bolden, who cannot be tackled. Just shy of the 20. Pick up a 22. Guys special after the catch.
Yeah, you want defining throws from a quarterback in the NFL. Bodies around you, 3rd and long. You've got to throw an outside comeback. Look at Warner, the great anticipation. Well before Bolden comes out of his break, throws it to the outside, away from the undercutting defender, Michael Lewis, on that slide technique used by Lewis to get to the outside. Really good job. Anquan Bolden pushes, then wheels back to the outside. Excellent throw by Kurt Warner, and then the yards after the catch. The yards come because Kurt Warner throws the football accurately and on time, so the wide receiver can turn and take it upfield.
Cardinals couldn't get the play in early enough, so they're going to be forced to take a timeout here with 6:11 to go. Kurt Warner was very affected by what happened with Anquan Bolden and talked about how that injury impacted him and what he thinks of Bolden going forward. And one thing he told me was it scared him. And Kurt Warner took pause almost in his career, and there was a report by Michael Silver, who works for Yahoo Sports and wrote a book with Warner after the championship season about maybe Kurt Warner walking away from the game because he was so scared by what he saw happen to Bolden. He sent a text to his wife Brenda after the game relating that exact thought, and with perspective and time, he said, it's given me reason to think about just my health and my future going forward in this, but the courage he saw in Bolden to come back is really given him even extra strength to continue on.
He told us, and I'm quoting now, it shook me like nothing else I've ever seen.
First down for the 21. Warner pulled it down, got hit, and that will be ruled, I guess, an incomplete pass. Yeah, finally a signal comes. Incomplete. Roderick Green came from the blind side to hit Warner.
We've talked about Breston tonight and Bolden, not so much about Larry Fitzgerald. But these guys are on pace to have 3,000-yard seasons. And that hasn't been done, I don't think, since the Colts with Harrison and Wayne and, help me out, who's the third guy? Come on,
Anthony
George.
Gonzalez.
Clark was a wide receiver.
I mean,
now, Anthony Gonzalez or Dallas Clark.
It hasn't happened in a while. 3 guys over 1,000 is a real big deal. That's where Warner's yards go.
21 fakes the throw, runs Hightower. Gain of about 3.5. Good job by Isaac Sopoaga and Patrick Willis to make the tackle.
Stokely.
That's when it happened.
Yeah, when it happened, it's an unusual occurrence.
Correct. Brandon Stokely, who had he should have been credited with a save in the back of the end zone on Thursday night.
Put that glove away.
With Brandon Marshall.
Put that glove back in your pocket, son.
So it's another 3rd and long here for the Cardinals. And J.J. Arrington will be in the backfield with Bolden.
But that little draw play got a more manageable 3rd down for Kurt Warner.
And another run with Bolden. And again, only to the 15, so a good job by the Niners. And some fans frustrated.
Odd call? Right? Odd call in there?
No, not necessarily. I think when you game plan, you look at how the defense is playing. Possibly in a 3rd and long situation, you'll see wide tackles from the defense. That'll open up the lane inside. The 49ers came with a stunt that time where those tackles and ends crossed. They did a real good job of anticipating the draw. But a lot of times coaches will call plays anticipating a certain defense. Usually get the draw and that little trap inside if those tackles are wide and coming straight up the field.
This will be a 33-yard field goal attempt for Neil Rackers. And it's a one-point game. 14-13. 4:41 to go in the first.
Eyes so far in the desert. Welcome, everybody. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. Let us be among the first to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day tomorrow. Tom, as we said on Monday night, we're all on the Cardinals.
Yeah, automatic. Playing at home, highest scoring team in football, Cardinals win.
Niners didn't get the message so far, so we got a good second half coming up for sure. Last Monday night, we were fortunate enough to visit with the two gentlemen running for President of the United States. Tonight, as Johnny Rivers once sang a few years back, welcome back, baby, to the poor side of town. Well, we'll just do a little football. We like that anyway. In fact, both President-elect Barack Obama and Senator John McCain, they like their football as well. Two teams continue to lead the way in their respective conferences, although both were tested yesterday. Here we go in the fastest 3 minutes of television, and the undefeated Tennessee Titans of Jeff Fisher back in Chicago on Alumni Weekend, and Rex Grossman starting to Matt Forte Bears lead. Armand Hall fumble at the 1. As for running the ball, forget about it. Titans ran nowhere, so Kerry Collins had to throw. The lead to Justin Gage, and then the defense at the end. Cortland Finnegan, the luck of the Irish, and the Titans are 9-0, winning 21-14. Eagles fired up to beat the champion Giants. But Eli Manning to Kevin Boss, Giants up 10. Donovan McNabb to Hank Baskett, been catching everything lately. Here come the Eagles play of the game. Eli Manning not over the line of scrimmage as the appeal showed. Brandon Jacobs for the touchdown, and then on 4th and 1, Brian Westbrook stopped at midfield. The G-Men win at 36-31. Not since 68. At the Colts won in Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, wide this throw at the end of the half. Keywan Ratliff gets the Colts in it. Bang! Eric Foster, Lagafabia, Peyton Manning, Dominic Rhodes. Colts win in Pittsburgh 24-20. Vincent Don Shulin, Earl Morrill, and the defense, which picked off 3 Steeler passes for touchdowns. Roy Hilton did it 41-7 in the old Pitt Stadium, 1968. In the AFC East, hello, Richard Seymour and Ty Warren to Bills quarterback Trent Edwards. And the Patriots control the ball for 38 minutes. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis ran it. Patriots beat the Bills. Meanwhile, Bumble and Calvin is on a medium pace as the Jets go on to roll the Rams 47-3. They're both 6-3. Speaking of 6-3, how about the Atlanta Falcons? Matt Ryan, DeJarius Norwood. Falcons over the Saints. And also 6-3, Ray Lewis with 2 picks, and the Ravens are 6-3. Watch this. Old-fashioned stiff arm. Ravens roll the Texans. Talk about a game that had everything but the kitchen sink. Watch this. In the same quarter, that's a penalty in the end zone by Aaron Rodgers. It's a safety. And then Jared Allen, it's another safety for the Vikings against the Pack. But we're not done. Nick Collins, for the 6th time this year, a Packer has returned an interception for a TD. But we're not done. Will Blackman, for the 6th time this year, the Vikings special teams allow a touchdown. Will Blackman returns, and he could go all the way. But we're not done. Adrian Peterson running for almost 200 yards. And the Vikes beat the Packers wild ones 28-27. Change you can believe in. Last year, Saskatchewan won the CFL's Grey Cup. This year, the British Columbia Lions out-kicked. They out-leapt the Rough Riders. What? It's Kyle Green, and they out-defensed the Rough Riders. Brian Phillips did it, and one of the nice guys who's won over 200 games, Wally Buono, and the BC Lions upend last year's Champs 33-12. They're down to 4 in the CFL. I know you wanted me to keep you track of that.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll have more next week. You know I love that stuff. How about game balls from Week 10, Tom?
Boom, my game ball goes to Adrian Peterson. You showed a highlight where everything looked like it went the Packers' way, and everything did except the running of Adrian Peterson. 192 yards running the football and a touchdown that seals a win for the Vikings.
My game ball goes to the unsung Atlanta defense, who kept the high-flying New Orleans Saints with Drew Brees out of the end zone until 10 minutes left in the game. They knocked down balls. They had 3 interceptions. Forget the stats you read in the paper. This defense did the job. Coming up, we'll read and react to the biggest games, just a little bit separating the Giants and Eagles but it ended up more than a little bit back in 60 seconds.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Moving forward.
Life is about the small things. All the things we never think about, yet desperately depend on. It's the things that make a Camry a Camry.
T-I-C. Check tested. 29 points.
How did you get so many Qs?
Don't worry about it. My turn again. S. What do you know? Checked us.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays, plus in-depth analysis all week.
Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
Welcome back, everybody, to Prime Time. At halftime, a surprise, the Niners lead Arizona, first place Arizona, 21-13. Tom, a surprise to many is the way Matt Castle's playing quarterback for the New England Patriots, who very quickly have become them, haven't they? The new them.
Maybe the surprise story in the NFL. You look at him early on when he got those first few starts, throwing the ball to the wrong place, holding on to the ball too long. You see him now. He has that ability to throw the ball deep, stands tall, just like Tom Brady. Pocket presence gets him a run to the end zone. I think that, it looked disastrous for the New England Patriots early on. Now Matt Castle has become a real threat in the NFL at the quarterback.
And it helps in New They had like a 9-minute drive to seal the game against Buffalo. Well, Kerry Collins is kind of, yeah, he's thrown for 35,000, but certainly Tennessee can't win by throwing the football. Well, they had to yesterday against the Bears.
A lot of people don't know he's number 14 on the all-time passing list. The reason why, great release of the football, accurate passer. He's almost up to 40,000 yards right now. Eventually, he is going to pass Joe Montana and John Unitas on the all-time passing list. So Kerry Collins is not just a manager. He's a good quarterback in this league.
You said something yesterday on the Blitz. He could be MVP of the league if we voted
correct.
now.
That's correct.
Now that...
Haven't thought about it, but that's it.
So already you've shown us 2 halfway stories that are unbelievable. But, oh, by the way, the Giants are still the sitting champs. And they played the Eagles yesterday, 36-31. But little things made a big difference.
Well, this is a simple story. This is short yardage for the New York Giants. They hand it to Brandon Jacobs. He gets you 5 extra. You're looking for 1 yard here to continue this drive and a chance to win a football game, and you cannot get it. And I think that really was the story of that football game. A lot of points scored, but those short yardage situations, you have to convert.
It's going to be quite a team that outplays the Giants' offensive and defensive lines, right?
Yes.
I mean,
front 7 and those 5 guys blocking, especially in terms of their run blocking for the Giants.
Last time I checked, remember we said they won the Super Bowl? It's like they're only scratching at the surface.
That's right.
It looks like.
That's right.
Eagles close, but the Giants just continue to do what they do. When we return, Kurt Warner does what he does, fighting off an inspired Niners rush, finding Anquan Bolden, who's had quite a first half. But Niners lead at 21-13. Back in 30 seconds.
Saturday.
Some great shots there of that 18.9 million pound tray that carries the field into the open end of University of Phoenix Stadium, and then the roof that opened in 10 minutes as we got started here tonight. Vernon Davis has the last touchdown. San Francisco, 2 wins on the season, division-leading Arizona 21-13. We begin the third quarter from Glendale, Arizona. Mike Tirico, Ron Jaworski, Tony Kornheiser, Susie Kalber on the sideline. The Niners trying to get a split of the season series and really mark a point where they can turn their fortunes around a bit. Joe Nedney kicks off to start the third quarter. Steve Breaston returns from the 2. On the right side, Breaston got a very nice block from Matt Ware, and the kicker Nedney has to shove him to the sideline over at the 39-yard line. All right, what do you have story-wise first half?
If you're writing a column in Arizona, it's very simple. You know, you're wondering if these are the same old Cardinals that lost and lost and lost when they had an opportunity to do something great. For a team with a good offense and a 5-3 record to lose to a 2-6 team that they've beaten already, we talked about this with Bertrand Berry the other day, a 5-year veteran here, 11 years in the league. What if you lost? He took 2 deep sighs. He said it would be a shame to lose this game, a shame. They're looking at that right now. They're 30 minutes closer to it than they ever thought they'd be.
Warner's first throw is to Larry Fitzgerald, who got hit hard but holds on, a gain of 9. Takeo Spikes makes the tackle. Jaws, from a football standpoint, what do you see Arizona needing to do here in the second half?
Keep firing. When you have Kurt Warner and all these wide receiver sets and talented wide receivers that the Cardinals have, keep firing. This is a team that averaged just under 30 points a game. They can move the football and they can score points. But you got to give some props right now. That 49er defense, they have played very well.
2nd and 1 with Warner. Throws the middle, flag down as Breaston, I beg your pardon, makes the catch. It's at the 33-yard line. We had a couple of players run into each other there. Now let's check the flag.
Illegal contact, defense number 26. This penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Mark Roman is flagged.
Kurt Warner in the first half was very accurate. That's why I was saying just keep dialing up those passing plays. And he can throw that dig route, that 20-yard square, and he just hit the Steve Breaston as well as anyone. That's his defining throw throughout his career.
7 catches now for 124 yards for Breaston tonight. Underneath, here comes Fitzgerald. Good hard hit. Nate Clemens driving through him, and a flag as Clemens was pushing Fitzgerald on the way down. And that's the same kind of stuff that happened with Vernon Davis last week.
The Cardinals are up-tempoing their offense right now. They're going to no huddle. They were a little sluggish, I thought, in spurts in that first half. Kurt Warner loves the no huddle.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 22. This penalty be assessed, half dimensions to the goal, automatic, first down.
Well, that should win an Academy Award. That was just beautiful action.
Larry Fitzgerald may move up the dial to wrestling on Monday nights. That was
wow.
That was straight from the actor's studio there.
Yeah, again, the Cardinals spreading the field. 4 wide receivers on the field, 1 back in the backfield.
14, Warner back to Fitzgerald. He'll come to the 10-yard line. You can see that they're trying to get Fitzgerald here, using some no huddle, because that was a key part of their offense taken away in the first half.
Well, with Breaston playing as well as he's been playing, ultimately, you know, they're going to start rolling the coverage, give a little bit of help over there, and that will open up Larry Fitzgerald. That will open up Anquan Bolden.
Warner 4 of 4 passing on this drive. 5 of 5. It's Jeremy Urban, a yard shy of the first down, tackled by Terrell Brown.
We don't have any reports yet of what Wisenhunt did at halftime, do we? How he addressed his troops, what visual aid he may have used to get them to go down the field quite like this. We don't have that yet, do we, Jaws?
I think Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator, just said, "Hey, we're gonna keep firing it."
Usually takes 2 days to find out what really happened. Locker room's not safe anymore.
Not sacred anymore.
3 receivers on 3rd and 1. Steven Spock is in at tight end, and they're going to run with Hightower, who's very close to the mark. It all depends on the spot here. Harris Harrelson made the tackle.
I think you just be a little bit short.
And they are, and it's 4th down. And what will Wisenhunt do?
Jaws, what does he do?
Kick a field goal.
No hesitation.
Kick a field goal. That's my feeling.
Okay.
But I'm not being paid to make those decisions. They're going to go for it.
And now the play clock's at 13, and they're shuttling personnel in and out. They are going to go for it. They took the fullback Smith out, and Warner takes timeout. Very often when you're in these, do you go, do you stay, and they don't measure, that 40-second clock starts right away, and you can end up exactly where they do.
Looks like a sandwich with the taste of a prime rib dinner. Quizno's newest prime rib, only $3.99. Slow roasted and sliced thin with an extra layer of prime rib piled high. Real prime rib for $3.99? Only at Quizno's. Quizno's.
The distinctive taste of Bud Light can be described with just one word: drinkability. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
On Tuesday, the battle between good and evil begins on DVD and Blu-ray.
Now stay down!
From the visionary director of Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, crap.
Hellboy 2. Own the 3-disc special edition for a limited time Tuesday.
What happens when you grant a wish? You've got 3 days to find out at the Veterans Day sale at Sears. Get 3 days of savings plus amazing specials.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. The Sears Ultimate Football Experience. DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. And Quiznos. Quiznos. Love what you eat.
Saguaro here, part of the desert landscape. Cardinals been out here for 20 years now.
Wandering
yes,
in the
one of
desert
their best
landscape.
positions at 5-3. 4th and just less than a full yard. Terrell Smith, the fullback. Tim Hightower, the running back. Warner, quick throw. Fitzgerald got it. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Jaws, you're right on all the replays. You weren't right on that call. The call to go for it clearly works out. Gets 6.
Well, I think it was clearly a play that we saw last week from Byron Leftwich to Santonio Holmes. A running play called. You look outside, and this time Fitzgerald ran a doubt route, a quick slant. It was a run play. Kurt Warner stuck it in for the touchdown.
Extra point added by Neil Racker. So after catching only 2 balls in the first half, 4 on that drive for Fitzgerald, and his 6th touchdown catch of the year. 1-point game.
That's like thunder. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade.
Come on, let's go! The Chevy Red Tag event. See some red and save some green, because the price on the tag is the price you pay. And with financing that fits, you get access to hundreds of banks competing to get you the best rate possible. Buy this Malibu 1LT with an available EPA estimated 33 miles per gallon highway for around $21 grand. That's a total value of almost $1,900.
Wayne Gretzky and the Phoenix Coyotes go to work to your left there, and just across the street here in Glendale. University of Phoenix Stadium, opened in 2006.
Yeah, beautiful aerial shot.
Great stadium.
It really is, yeah.
Looks like a spaceship that dropped out of the sky from far away. We climbed Camelback last year during the Super Bowl, and you look down and go, what is that out there? But it's awesome. Warner hit his first 6, making his first 7 of this half. Spinning move by Anquan Bolden to the 35, Jaws, a gain of 16.
Yeah, Kurt Warner has been razor sharp. You got to love the deep ball. Look at this throw. This is absolutely a long handoff, 60 yards down the field. I love the movement in the pocket. He finds Anquan Bolden with a whip route back to the inside for the touchdown. And look at this throw right here. It's a slant route off a run call. Fitzgerald was able to get inside. Kurt Warner said, I got a guy that doesn't drop anything. I'm throwing it to him. Heck with the run, gets a touchdown.
Hightower. The rookie out of Richmond, Tim Hightower, who's replaced Edgerrin James. as the starting running back. Over 100 yards last week, not as much tonight. 7 carries, 21 yards.
Have you noticed, Mike, how excited Jaws gets when he likes the quarterback? When the quarterback is throwing it, throwing it, throwing it.
I like passes. Teams waste too much time trying to gain 4 yards.
You want that 7-on-7 drill, don't you?
I love that.
Sure.
See how sharp Warner's been in the second and third quarter. 4 receivers, pressure on, got rid of it to Hightower. At the 40, Justin Smith came off the defensive end to make the play. And a couple of throws to running backs, but the ball's been spread around evenly. Look at this. Thrown to each of his 3 receivers 7 times.
Think that's in their contracts, that they have to have equality like that?
I do know this. Fitzgerald's contract is the biggest of the 3. He got paid big time. Bolden wants a new deal. He has 3 years remaining on his contract, and Breston's just a puppy.
He's
5th rounder, 2nd year. Twisting Niners up front. Warner throws to Hightower, who holds on for the first down at the 47. What a great pass catch by Tim Hightower.
Wow, Tim Hightower hanging around Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden, goes up and just snatches this ball out of the air because Nate Clemens is driving hard from the outside, goes up and pulls that down and takes the shot. Now, we all know about Tim Hightower's running ability. He fits in when you catch the ball like that in this offense.
It's also very impressive in an interview. He's a real bright kid.
Warner on fire. 9 for 9 in that quarter. They get 10 for 10. He stayed for the blitz. A penalty marker down, back by the quarterback as Jeremy Urban with the hit. And let's see if they tack on 15 more to this one.
Yeah, Michael Lewis on the blitz from his safety position. Warner did an outstanding job of buying time by drifting back in the pocket.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 32, contact to the head of the quarterback. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
That's what playing quarterback is about, folks. People in your face, bearing down on you, looking down that gun barrel, throw the football accurately down the field, understanding what the defense is doing and anticipating where your wide receiver is going to be.
But that's a legitimate call, isn't it? That was worth that penalty.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times we'll sit here and we'll say that should have been called, but that one, that was legit.
By the book, no gray matter.
Yep.
Contact to the passer's helmet, 15 yards, roughing the passer.
Yep.
Run Hightower. Good job to wrap him up by Takeo Spikes. Decade ago, he was the first-round draft pick by Cincinnati. Time in Buffalo. Last year in Philly, now here with the Niners.
Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. He's got that blitz play-calling sheet in his hand right now because he has been dialing up the pressures.
You got to, and the quarterback's made every pass.
Yes, yeah.
Got to do something to change the rhythm of it here.
Get him off that spot. Change the launch point. Empty backfield once again. 5 wide receiver look.
Warner makes such good reads. He kills you with pressure. Stepping up, he goes down, but Ray McDonald may have had him by the face mask. Roger Green also came in. Green's 54, McDonald's 91.
Roderick Green is one of those guys that, as I watched the 49ers defense this week, well, he flashed. He was all over the field in passing situations.
Holding, offense. Okay. Illegal contact, defense, number 27. By rule, these penalties will offset. Replay, second down.
There's a lot for nothing. Let's watch Bolden. And there's the contact flag on Walt Harris. And the other one was right near the point where Warner went down. When his head turned, I thought it was a face mask. But in fact, it was a hold trying to keep the guys away from Warner. J.J. Arrington in the slot, 5 receivers. He hasn't missed all quarter. Bolden again with a flag down. And Bolden down at the 10-yard line. Gain at 20 if it stands.
Pass interference, offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
The physical receiver twice to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, you'll see Anquan Bolden right there, number 81, the number 3 receiver. Wow. Okay. I thought this was a contact sport.
Making that break, and the official from deep throws the flag, and all he sees is the arm fully extended, but the contact doesn't look like it was the difference in separation. From the 40, Warner, finally an incompletion in the half. It was catchable for Preston, but it was a little bit behind him. And now we'll have third down out of field goal range, with Arizona trailing by 4.
Yeah, the philosophy there was at least get in field goal range. Right now you're looking at a 57-yarder. They could have picked up 7 yards there. Look at a 5-yarder. At least get it in a manageable situation where you can kick a field goal.
Fortunately for them, they have another try.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
That's your philosophy here.
There you go.
And they will run it with Hightower. He gets to the 36. A field goal from here is 53. The fans do not like the play call. And Rackers will stay on the sideline. Johnson, the punter, comes out.
I guess they don't like the play call because they're so used to winning here. They're so used to going to the playoffs year after year after year that they're saying, hey, come on, what do you guys do? That must be it.
It's third and like 47, and they're booing the call.
Dirk Johnson will try to pin the Niners back inside the 10.
There were years when they couldn't score 10 points in an entire season.
Fair caught at the 10-yard line by the veteran Rossum, who started the game with a kickoff return for a touchdown. So Arizona was walking down the field, and that one penalty stops them out of field goal range. They get nothing on the drive.
Burning hell. On December 5th, Ray Stevenson is the Punisher. Punisher Warzone. This is just the beginning. Rated R in theaters December 5th.
The not too heavy, not too light taste of the one beer that's always easy drinking. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
In this house, we're all about tradition. I wouldn't change one thing about this house.
Can we keep it?
Oh, I think so.
The Samsung Series 7 Plasma with a touch of color finish. When beautiful design is the name of the game, imagination lives.
The Men's Warehouse designer suit sale is going on now. For a limited time, when you buy one designer suit, you'll get one free. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Where's the rest of the guys?
I don't know.
Let's go, fellas. Let's pick up the pace. Whoa, 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 rookie.
What up, Stu? What's up, man?
What do you think you're doing?
Nothing.
That's right, nothing. Watch your hands.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays, plus in-depth analysis all week.
Back at University of Phoenix Stadium, minute 33 left in the third. San Francisco 49ers, their only wins at Seattle in overtime week 2 by 18 at home over the winless Detroit Lions. They've lost their last 5. Made a coaching change. Nothing has gone right for the Niners this year. One of their best
away, took a return away, now they get it back.
What if the guard bumps into the quarterback
here?
Yeah,
you'll see Sean Hill coming around, and the left guard, you'll see David Boz is pulling to the right, and he actually bumped, and you'll see it right here. Wilson's blitzing, so Boz is trying to pick up Wilson, but really Hill never got the ball cleanly, and Dockett's in the backfield.
So even though Adrian Wilson's penalty cost him that turnover, in part his pressure there helps get a turnover here.
No question about it.
Golden opportunity for the Cardinals to take a lead. They'll run Tim Hightower. Tackled by Mark Roman, the free safety.
49er defense, Mike, has been really strong against the run. They're not giving Edgerrin James, Tim Hightower any room to run the football. But, of course, Warner's been red hot.
How many times can you restart momentum? This will be the third time
Right.
for Arizona just in the past couple of minutes.
We're talking about how good the 49ers have been taking care of the football tonight. That's been their problem all season long. Turnovers will kill you.
The Cardinals will have it at the 7, going in for the lead. The game's first turnover on the War Exchange gives Arizona a chance. We take a peek in University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. Fourth quarter begins on Monday Night Football. Mike Tirico, Tony Kornheiser, Ron Jaworski, Susie Culver is game 2 for Mike Singletary. His team has given the requisite effort that he has demanded from them through the bye week. The offense has mostly done a good job, but a turnover a moment ago gives Arizona the ball at its 10. They pick up a few yards on the first down. The Cardinals lead this division. They have a chance to really put a seal on it. They'll go up 4 in the division with 7 left to play if they can come back in this fourth quarter. Warner's been outstanding tonight. Ray McDonald on the defense. Now, was he invited in?
Encroachment, defense, number 91. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal. Remains second down.
You know, Mike, so often we talk about statistics here on Monday Night Football. We have reams and reams of stats. There really is only one important statistic in football, and that's the takeaway giveaway ratio. You win just under 80% of your games if you're +1 or better this season. So if you protect the football, you give yourself a really good chance of winning.
You just ruined it for Elias.
I know it.
You're done.
That's the most important stat. We got a lot of stats that are good.
Second and goal, Fitzgerald in motion. That's a false start on the right tackle, Levi Brown.
Becoming so hard for Arizona.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Arizona has gotten so close on these possessions. On the offensive possession, bad penalty. On the interception, pick 6, bad penalty. Here, penalty.
Yeah, you actually see Deuce Latui moving.
Latui
well
turned
as
his
Levi
head.
Brown, yeah.
He saw the linebacker showing some pressure, and Brown said, oh, wait, let me take a look, too. Actually cost them yards because the first one was half the distance. This one was a full 5.
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
Warner, Hightower, good cut left. Better tackle Justin Smith. With a 5, a flag is down on the opposite side of the field. Some of the Cardinal players are looking perhaps for a horse collar as Smith reached up by the top. This flag came from the far side, away from the play, or the near side, but away from the play.
And a lot of zebra meetings tonight. Those are the officials, Tony. Right, like right there, another caucus.
Please tell me why you call them zebras, Jaw, so we can continue making me look like a moron.
During the run, personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's the big one, automatic first down. It would have been 3rd and goal. Instead, it's 1st and goal. I believe it'll take it to the 2.5. Conversation continuing here. We did not get a number on that call either. So I don't know if it was at the ball or away from it.
After discussion, the flag will be picked up. There is no foul for face mask. It will be 3rd down.
Hey, Ken Wisman, please, come here. I deserve an explanation. He's going to get an explanation. Nobody there involved with it, so it was certainly not at the play at the ball. And as I said, it happened far away. Of course, as many of you know, if you watch the NFL on a regular basis, the face mask penalty has changed. Not 5 yards for the incidental, only 15 for grabbing and turning the mask. And that was neither, to be honest, if it was called there. All right, so now it's 3rd and goal from the 5. And this is hard on defenses. The 2 top receivers, Bolden and Fitzgerald, on the same side. Bottom of your screen. Warner flushed, got rid of it. Incomplete. That's, well, let's see, they throw the flag. It's grounding or the late hit. The ball was no receiver nearby, didn't reach the line of scrimmage.
Well, Tim Hightower was underneath.
That's maybe what Warner is saying.
I picked this one up, too.
Yep. And good for Tony Correnti, because he's trying to get the right call in each play.
There is no flag for intentional grounding. It's been reported the ball was thrown to number 34. It is 4th down.
It was reported. I guess I reported it.
Hey, they're doing everything right. This is exactly the way they should do it.
Get it right. You'll see Kurt here. Now here comes the pressure right up the middle from Smith on the outside. And you see Hightower coming into your screen.
Really?
What?
He's 6 yards away.
Wasn't anywhere near.
He's not even close.
Wasn't even trying to get it to him. He got hit.
It doesn't matter. It's a field goal opportunity. It's not going to drastically change it. Good from 28 and 33. Rackers from 23 makes it a 1-point game.
He really wasn't anywhere near him.
He was getting hit as he hit the ball. It's hard to be accurate when you got people beat up.
Lucky on that one.
At the 9-yard line, so 11:16 left. Ton of time, couple of possessions each way. Kurt Warner has been just sharp. There's Singletary. That is, if you want to typify what Mike Singletary is trying to build and do, it's that shot right there. He is trying to kind of raise up a group that has very little self-belief in anything positive happening.
And Mike Singletary knows he needs guys like Frank Gore. Frank Gore is one of those guys you can win with. He's a talented guy. He's a leader. He's good locker room guys. Hey, he feels as bad for Frank Gore as Frank Gore feels for himself.
He wants that family feel.
Absolutely.
He wants you to know that it's okay among the football players. It's okay.
Top 3 receivers for the Cardinals. Bottom of the screen. Warner hot in this half. Checks it down to Tim Hightower. Complete just across the 13-yard line. Terrell Brown made the tackle.
This may not be the critical drive of the game because they'll probably get the ball back at least one more time. But Arizona's got to win this game to have credibility in the league. They have to win this game.
Warner pulled it down, got it back to Fitzgerald. Forward progress will get him a first down near the 20.
Larry Fitzgerald never ceases to amaze me the way he catches the football with his hands. You know, a lot of guys in traffic will try to body the football. You'll see him here. He gets really stroked by Nate Clements at the line of scrimmage. He stays with it, keeps battling, and grabs the football with his hands.
I would hope so.
Well, a lot of guys let it get to their body and it bounces up in the air.
Nobody with their feet, though.
Well, not their feet. No.
From the 20, down the middle, Bolden hangs on. Took a shot from Walt Harris. First down at the 34-yard line.
You know, when you watch Kurt Warner orchestrate an offense, it is a beautiful thing to watch. He knows where to go with the football. When he's in the situations now where he's calling the plays, he really begins to feel it.
How did he have those years where nobody wanted him?
Well, he was not
5
healthy.
years, nobody wanted him.
He was not healthy. He had the sore thumb. He had the concussion. You know, there are a number of problems. When he's healthy with the people around him, this is what you get out of Kurt Warner. This kind of season, this kind of game.
San Francisco changed 4 players. Don't get caught out of position as Hightower runs right into the linebackers. It's Akil Spikes and Patrick Willis made the tackle. If you remember, we told you at the top, Singletary took over from Mike Nolan, and Singletary was the linebackers coach. It was with Nolan's blessing that Singletary took the job, and he said, my task is to finish the job that Mike started, whatever the reason was we couldn't get it done. But the linebackers know all about Singletary, and Patrick Willis told us yesterday, all you guys at the other positions who laughed at how hard we worked down at linebacker position, get ready, because you're all going to work like we did. Willis and Spikes combined that tackle there. A 2nd and 10 Warner throw. Out of the break is Bolden. Across midfield for 16. First down yards.
This is the way the Cardinals are supposed to win games, right, Charles?
Yes.
They're going to go to Bolden, they're going to go to Fitzgerald, they're going to go to Preston, and Warner's going to get that all done. They've walked it up the field a number of times tonight, haven't gotten touchdowns each time.
They haven't finished, but
right.
Again, you see Kurt Warner under pressure, the accurate throw to Anquan Bolden. Pretty darn good coverage there by Walt Harris, but you see the throw where only Anquan Bolden can make the catch.
Over 300 yards now, Kurt Warner, 46th time that Warner has a 300-plus yard pass game. 46 out of 102. Deep shot. Just over Bolden's outstretched arms. He says his tight jersey is being held. We'll add one more 300-yard game to the stats and update it. Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, 28% of his career. Kurt Warner, 45% of his career. 300-yard percentage.
That's the gap between first and second on that list?
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's astonishing.
Yes, it is.
And Dan Fouts is a Hall of Famer, and
that's for
Kurt Warner could be.
That's for a 100-game minimum for us.
He's that much ahead of number 2.
Second down, the flag is thrown. I think the receiver in the slot, Jeremy Urban, may have left early.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, it was a good job by the 49ers defensively. They were shifting late into their blitz schemes, and Urban saw the safety coming down, and he flinched. You got to wonder how this 49er defense can hold up. They've been spending an awful lot of time, particularly in the second half, on the field defending the pass. A lot of running.
Second and 15, Hightower screen. Miles Sendline, the center, was out there trying to block ahead. Justin Smith comes over and gets him. Back to about where Bolden caught it. So you'll have third down. And in the neighborhood of 10 as we get toward 8 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Again, the play design to get third down in a manageable situation. Also sometimes get in those second and real long. A defense will play man-to-man. You call that screen play. If you get one of your uncovered offensive linemen out and they block the defender responsible for the screen, you get a big play.
Warner protected the ball, throws in a tight spot for Fitzgerald. Well covered by Clements as that San Francisco zone didn't give him a lot of places to squeeze it in.
And Nate Clements did a terrific job, but it was the pass rush that made the play. If Kurt Warner could have threw off that back foot, the timing would have been better. He had to step up because of Justin Smith on the outside. The ball was out about a split second, a heartbeat late, and Nate Clements was able to drive the football. The pass rush broke down the timing.
Dirk Johnson.
A great effort by San Francisco, but here's Arizona proving that it can win these games. But he's supposed to
that's a big but right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Vernon Davis in the backfield with Gore. Sean Hill's throw is intercepted. Flag is down. Dansby comes up with the pick. Carlos Dansby running it back for the Cardinals. He's going to be down at the 5, but Isaac Bruce was knocked down in the middle of the field.
Pass interference, offense number 88. This penalty is declined. Result for the play, first down.
Bruce was on his back at about the 30-yard line.
And normally when you see the flag in the middle of the field, it normally is for defensive holding or defensive interference. Here you see Hill in the pocket looking down the field. You just can't make that throw. That is a difficult throw to make, and Dansby had great depth on the route.
Let's come back to the flag. Yeah. You see why. It is a pick play, and he takes Adrian Wilson out of the play. That's what knocked him down. And the throw was high, intended for Jason Hill behind it, so Arizona's first and goal at the 5.
Now we see if it follows the script.
Now's your script, Tony.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. It's how it's supposed to end.
Game's second turnover. J.J. Arrington in the game, and he runs for 1.5 yards. So again, one more time. Watch Bruce. It's all called a rub or a pick, but the contact knocks him down and takes Adrian Wilson out of the play. Still, the throw was a poor decision.
Poor decision.
Yeah.
Absolutely poor decision. Dansby had too much depth to try to drop that one in.
It's the third interception, and the first one that's going to count. But it's the third in the last 20 seconds.
Awesome game Dansby's having. 10 tackles and 1 interception. Still Arrington in the backfield. Bolden. Goal line. In. Touchdown Cardinals. Take the lead. Up 5. They'll go for 2.
I love when they go for 2, Jaws, don't you?
Love it. Go for 2 when you have to, Tony.
Anquan Bolden's 10th touchdown of the season, his second on the night. Steve Greston threw a block on Walt Harris to create a little bit of space. And Sean Hill, who threw the pick, bumming.
Yeah, and Anquan Bolden is excellent on those bubble screens. So far this season, going into this game, he had 8 catches behind the line of scrimmage on those bubble screens, and he's tough, and he'll take it up in there.
San Francisco had confusion. They didn't have enough players on the field. Timeout 49ers. Anquan Bolden continuing an amazing season. Here's the touchdown. Preston throwing the block out there. Everybody outstanding by the goal line. It is his 3rd multiple touchdown game of the year. He has 10 on the season. Second is 6. He's leading by 4, and he missed 2 games because of the broken jaw. And 9 of those touchdowns have been in the red zone. That also leads the NFL.
Yeah, in this area, we saw the Cardinals work on this. Larry Fitzgerald back in the corner of the end zone a lot on Saturday's practice, but may not get to see it.
Left side of the line.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty and reattempt to try for point.
You know, sometimes you get a little more room here. You get a little
better
more
for
room.
you, isn't
a little more room to run some routes. Expand that defense a little bit with room to operate.
Of course, now you have to throw. You're probably going to throw anyway, but now you
probably would have thrown anyway. But again, they like Fitzgerald from this inside position, going on a diagonal to flatten it up to the corner.
Cardinals 1 for 3, going for 2 this year. Fitzgerald couldn't squeeze it. Mark Roman, the safety, was back there. So the lead is 5 with 4:16 to go.
And you know, I talked before about what the script would be. But you're not supposed to leave the other team 4 minutes. You're not supposed to necessarily do that.
What NFL game this year has followed a script? Yeah. This league is hard to figure.
They hired me because I was a writer. I got to write scripts.
How about Warner's numbers? 75% completions, 320, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and you got to love this throw here. This is the bomb, man. This is down the field. It's a long handoff for Kurt Warner. Then you see the movement in the pocket, extend the play, and the wheel route back to the inside from Anquan Bolden. And this throw here, this is a running play down to the goal line on 4th down. But the corner played off, and Larry Fitzgerald makes the throw. Again, the bubble screen out to Anquan Bolden. Excellent job by Anquan Bolden finding the end zone.
It was talked about so often when we went the rags to riches story, from bagging groceries to Super Bowl MVP, the arena football stop in there. But with these receivers who are so good 15 yards from the line, 10 yards from the line, all the short stuff they catch, all of his arena time, the quick decisions, getting the quick release, boy, it really pays off with guys like Bolden and Fitzgerald who are good after the catch.
Yeah, it's funny. I had that conversation with Coach Dick Vermeil this afternoon. He talked about Kurt Warner benefiting from the Arena League. You know, those guys are in your face.
Baseball days.
49ers will put anybody in that's on the roster tonight.
Third and 3, Hill. Nothing open. Shoveling it forward. It's intercepted by Wilson, who is not touched. Now is down at the 21. And a flag is down at the back end of the play. Clark Hagan's the pressure. Hill looked like he was going to run. Saw a brief opening and tried the old Favre shovel pass.
Manage the game, manage the game, manage the game. Then you get like Brett Favre on the last play.
Sometimes you try to just do too much.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Arizona, number 54. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal. It will be first down and 10 yards to gain.
Again, Sean Hill looking his left. Nothing there. He comes back. Now there's a lane. I was going to extend the play, but he tries to flick the ball out, and Adrian Wilson in perfect position. Right there, Clark Hagan's bringing the pressure. That's one of those situations, 3rd and 3. Burrow your head down and try to get as much as you can.
Gore wasn't even
Gore
looking
went
for the
downfield
ball.
he went downfield to block.
Right. So he doesn't even know that pass is coming. Doesn't see it.
Now the game's not over. There's one timeout and the 2-minute warning with 2:24 to go.
And the 49ers only have one timeout remaining.
And they'll throw it with Fitzgerald. Will be a couple of yards shy of the first down. San Francisco takes the immediate timeout at 2:17.
You may say the game's not over. I appreciate that. I'm going to say the game's over. I could be wrong. I'm going to say that the Cardinals have finally prevailed in a game that they needed desperately to win.
The Niners could get the ball back with a minute left and no timeouts.
Certainly.
Yeah, they give a 2-minute warning, and then you run a 3rd down play. If you stop them, then they run the clock off as much as possible. Punt, field the punt. You'd be talking about a very hard circumstance, 70 yards or so with no timeouts at about a minute left. But certainly the game's far from done.
Okay, well, we're okay. I'm on the other side of that street right now. That's all.
I love the first down play. You know, this is what the Cardinals are about. Throw the football. It was a running play. Corner was 8 yards off. Larry Fitzgerald. Kurt Warner pops up, throws the football out, picks up 7 yards. Pedal to the metal offense. They're not going to give him that free access route now. They're in that press bump and run position on the outside.
2nd and 3. Hightower is stopped. This play will take it to the 2-minute warning. And then we'll have a one-play scenario for the San Francisco defense.
The whole thing is stopped.
To try to keep the game alive.
Right, keep it alive.
2-minute warning in Arizona. The Cardinals have made very hard work of it. They lead by 5, trying to take a 4-game lead in the division.
They wiped away all the grittiness and humanity that the city ever had. I'm going to show them that they missed a spot.
Rated T for Teen.
So this is it, huh? Yeah, the IBM Blade Center. It's like 12 times as energy efficient as our old rack servers.
It'll help make us green?
It'll help make us very green.
How?
Like this.
Does this happen every time?
Yeah, pretty much.
The IBM Blade Center with Intel Xeon processors.
Biggie.
What's up? Stuart Scott with the Sports Center right now. Up next on ESPN, Steve Young and Evan Smith join me for the GMC Sierra postgame show. Are the Cardinals a threat to becoming one of the NFC elite? And a Patriot hero becomes a Jet again. All that next on ESPN Sports Center. Mike?
I'll wait for the Hall of Famers to answer, but I'll say no. They're not on the verge of becoming an elite team with their effort here tonight. A lot of turning points in the second half. 3 turnovers by Sean Hill, a big part of it. This one, the flag was down for offensive pass interference, but the pass wasn't related to that. It was a poor one and incomplete. The Cardinals made a pay with Anquan Bolden's 2nd touchdown. And then Frank Gore thinks Sean Hill's going to run with it. He's off to block. Ill-advised shovel pass on 3rd down when you had another down to live It would have been 4th and 3 with an incompletion. Turns into a turnover.
Yeah, and what has killed the 49ers all season long? Turning the football over. I don't care who the quarterback is. They're making those same dumb mistakes.
Game comes down to this play. Hightower is stopped for the loss, and the clock resets at 40. They'll have to kick it with 1:15 left. So the Niners should get the ball with no timeouts and about a minute left.
Can you tell the sound I'm making now, Mike? This is the sound of me eating my own words. As I said less than a minute ago that the game was over, and I'm swallowing my own words. Now I'm done. Okay, I'm done.
It's a hard ask, but Rossum has taken a kickoff back for touchdown. You see, he's among the elite all-time return, and he's taken 3 punts.
This would be a Denny Green moment, though. if they lose this one, it's a Denny Green moment. Come on.
Arizona runs it down to the nub and then takes the timeout. They won't lose the 5 yards.
The 49ers will get good field position. They'll have no timeouts.
Sure, pile on. Sure.
Just being realistic here.
Well, Jaws, put me in the position of Sean Hill. You haven't started a lot of games in the NFL. This is your 3rd. Wow. You've made some very, very good plays that have been erased with a couple of poor decisions. I know you have to have amnesia. Is it harder when you're a guy who has not played as much?
No question about it. And you said the key word. You have to have amnesia. You have to have amnesia. You got to forget what's happened. You get this ball back. You got to say, I'm going to make a play.
They put on a punt return. Johnson's kick to Rossum. It's line drive-ish. The 45 takes it right up the field, and they'll have much better field position than I thought they would. They're going to end up all the way at the 43. That was not a good punt at all by Johnson in a big spot. Poor. So 1:06 left. 28 net yards on the punt. And now San Francisco gets one last chance.
You know, there's no need to panic right now. You can still work the football. You've got 1:06 left. You're at the 42-yard line. Once you get around that 20-yard line, then you can take your shots at the end zone on a consistent basis. Right now, I think just try to move the ball, get a couple underneath throws or a couple of the sideline. Teams love to work the slot receiver, the inside receivers to the sideline. Empty backfield for the 49ers as score goes in motion.
No Josh Morgan. Dominic Siegler is the 4th receiver. Sean Hill throws underneath. Here comes Jason Hill trying to get to the sideline and the first down and gets the combo. Good job by Jason Hill. A Niner knocked out on the play. It's Gore, who is downfield blocking. Tough guy, Frank Gore.
That's exactly what they needed to do. Pick up 10 yards.
Okay. Injury there in the last minute.
There is no enforcement of 10-second runoff.
Okay, because he went out of bounds, you don't have the 10-second runoff because of the injury.
But you're almost there. You can throw the ball to the end zone here, but if you pick up about 10 yards, you can open up your playbook from the 20-yard line in.
They have plenty of time. Michael Robinson's the back, chipping, replacing Gore. Hill going sideline for Jason Hill again, caught at the 15-yard line. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're hearing Denny Green, but we let him off the hook.
That's Denny Green moment.
Well, defensively, you can't allow this to happen. You've got to protect your sideline. You can't throw a short pass, let a receiver run out of bounds. You can't let a receiver run out an O-cut or an outside cut, catch a football, get out of bounds. It's poor defense right now by the Cardinals secondary and their underneath coverage.
Jason Hill, 3 catches coming into the game, 5 tonight. Sean Hill steps up and throws. It's caught by Jason Hill. Makes a man miss at the 2. Down to the 1. March's telling him to spike. It was his first thought.
There's still a lot of
now he's
time
reconsidering.
left.
It's right. They're going to send in their goal line personnel here.
Spike the football.
And take the 3 plays.
That's right. Spike the football, calm things down.
And look at the calm of Sean Hill. I know time's running. He's getting everybody set up in the right spot. It's a long time to spike it, though.
It took an hour to spike it.
And
a marker down. Were they not lined up with enough people on the line of scrimmage? Let's see. And you said take your time because you're going to have 3 plays max down here. So
Correct.
you do have time to let the clock
take
run
your
down
time
and
and
not
organize,
panic.
but they actually took way too much time.
Yes.
There is no foul. Number 89 was in the previous play, did not have to come back inside the numbers. Therefore, he is legal in the position that he was in. It is second down.
That's a rule to prevent people coming in and out of the sidelines.
Yeah, you'll see it right here. It's the play that got him down to the 1-yard line. That whip route from Hill does a great job. A missed tackle from Hood.
That's eligible. 62.
Shiloh Rachel, an extra offensive lineman, that's reported eligible. Frank Gore's back in the game. Wisenhunt has run down the sideline to call timeout for Arizona with 20 seconds left. Do you have enough time to run a running play?
Yes, you do. It's second down. You can run a running play and then spike the football again, right? And then try it on 4th down. Reorganize and try on 4th down.
Boy, you know, run and start piling bodies on and unpile them. It's going to be really tight.
No,
right?
I mean, if they're getting up too slowly, the officials will stop in about 20 seconds. You have ample time to run the football and then spike. It's only second down, so you can do that.
Look at the opportunity for Mike Singletary. In his second game, the first after a bye week, but he's really had time. If he comes back and wins this game on the road against a better team under these conditions, you don't think somebody would want to say you're our coach?
Vernon Davis and Billy Badgema, the tight ends to the right. Rachel, a tackle eligible on the left. They run. Gore, left side, bounces it, crawls to the end zone. He was knocked down by a defender, so the clock still runs.
This one's going to be very close. They should be able to spike the football.
It's
with
down.
About a second or 2 left.
Hill's got to hurry and spike it, and he does with 2 seconds remaining.
Now we have a flag again.
We'll go under review.
Okay, they're going to review the last play to see if, in fact, a defensive player's contact brought Gore down to the ground.
You see Michael Robinson leading up inside. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
There was an Arizona defender that had their hand on the back of Frank Gore. You'll see it.
And then Gore gets his own momentum going, takes 2 steps. It's
the hair is to determine if the runner was down by contact.
Right, and that's the hair understanding of the rule of being down by contact.
Well, let's go back a little bit and see if we get another shot as he's
see if that's
Gore is coming out of the
action,
backfield,
which I think it is.
Here it is right here. It's Okafor.
Yeah, he definitely tags him.
Yeah.
He definitely tags him. The interesting part is Gore is about to gain his balance and keep going.
No, that'll be considered a tackle.
It will be considered, right. I mean, you're watching at home and say, wait a minute, that little push in the back didn't knock him down, but that's considered.
There was contact.
Yeah, contact.
Right.
Now, did that happen before the spike? Because it would have to kill the spike play that they ran. So where will the clock be reset? Will it be 3rd down?
And if you had an offensive penalty, there was a flag thrown, will there be a runoff for 10 seconds and game over? I'm just trying to muddy the water.
A lot of questions, Charles.
Yeah, I don't think you would have the penalty because you'd have everything stopped for the review. Yeah, that would be my read on that.
She's got a lot going on here.
Can I say how awkward I feel having declared this game over some time ago? And now it appears that the 49ers are going to win the game. Awkward. Just awkward.
How long have you been watching football?
Longer than most have been born. Certainly longer than Mike has been born.
What's interesting is, where does the clock go? Do they keep the clock at 2 seconds and say, yes, there's no flag, there was no throw down of the ball, no spike of the ball? Here comes Tony Correnti.
After reviewing the play, the runner was down by contact at the 2.5-yard line. The clock will be reset to 4 seconds, and it will start on my signal.
Whoa, okay.
And it will be third down. It'll be 3rd down. The Niners know this, so they're going to get ready.
Yeah.
So it's on Correnti's signal. He's telling Sean Hill. So this will be the last play of the game, barring a defensive foul.
But he could spike it here, too.
Yep. Good. You're right, he could. And they run it with Robinson, who stopped, and the game ends. with San Francisco losing by 5. Clark Hagan's made the tackle, and you want to be a physical football team and run, and they do it twice from the 3 and in, and they go 0 for 2.
Mike Singletary put the onus on his offensive line to gain 2.5 yards. They could not do it.
They couldn't do it, and I know you're going to say that what I'm going to say is worthless, but they put up a great effort against pretty long odds, even late in the game. He said he wanted a physical team. He said you'd see the offensive line have more physicality. You know, good effort.
But when they wanted them to run the football, they give it to Michael Robinson on the dive play to the inside. When you've got Frank Gore, I don't get it. You've got a mobile quarterback in Sean Hill. Don't get it.
And I understand.
I know there's an attitude you wanted to establish.
Exactly.
Running the football.
Kurt Warner won the game, standing by with Susie Colbert.
Well, Kurt, what were your emotions as you watched those last few moments?
Man, it's always tough to be over there on the sideline when you don't have the ball in your hands. But, you know, just doing a lot of praying and believing in our defense, and obviously they came up huge.
How can you describe what this win means for the franchise at this moment?
You know, this win is huge for us. To put us in this place, tough-fought football game. But, you know, it just seems like this year we're making some of those breaks happen in our favor. And I think that's a sign that we're turning the corner, and it's exciting for our organization.
What's it like for you when this team is moving the ball the way it does?
It's fun. It's fun. It makes me feel young again. And, you know, it's just fun to come out here and play football, to have the ball in my hands, and to help this team win each and every time out. I mean, I can't say enough at this point in my career to have that opportunity. With
all the ups and downs, when something like that is happening at the end of the game, where does your mind go?
My mind goes to how awesome God is. And he blesses me over and over again. And, you know, I just can't say enough about the position that he puts me in.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Susie. Warner threw for 3 touchdowns, 328 yards. I understand sending messages like Herman Edwards was trying to do with Kansas City yesterday at the end of the game, but twice down there from a couple of yards. Throw the ball once, wouldn't you think? Or run more.
Give the quarterback some options.
Yeah. The Cardinals are 3 games over 500 for the first time in 20 years. They win on a Monday night for the first time since they beat Tom Landry 23 years ago. And they're 4 up in the division with 7 to go. With Tony Kornheiser, Ron Dworsky, Susie Colbert, our great team. Mike Tirico, good night from Phoenix. See you next week for the Browns and the Bills.
See you next week in Buffalo.